Good morning. It's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see reflected back to us in our outside world. So we can glean things from people. We can glean things about people in our real lives from these readings, but I'm not people's energy. I'm reading your own energy and where it is. And if you want to see a shift in what's going on in your environment and your interactions with people, you need to shift inside of yourself to see that change happen. Okay. Feminine gets to go first today as she had a couple more cards showing and she was also overthinking. So, wow, lots of major energy here. I need more coffee. Woke up at 5 and then fell back asleep, and that was just a recipe for disaster. All right, top of the deck, overall, forefront of the mind for Divine Feminine. Ace of Swords in reverse. She's not seeing something. She's not seeing something clearly. This is what she's thinking. There's something I'm not understanding. There's something I don't quite see. Like, she's asking questions. She's trying to figure things out. She's trying to make sense of exactly what's going to happen or what's going on or why things happen this way. Or there's a lot of wanting to figure out and have a clear understanding of why things are like they are, why this happened. And she's not quite seeing it clearly. She's really yearning to have this new idea about herself. She wants to transform. A lot of her old self was based on this fantasy she had created from a place of lack or unworthiness. And so she's having to learn really the truth about herself, because if the truth about herself is that she's truly worthy and she's not in a state of worthiness and lack, then the dreams she's had about herself, maybe they've been kind of limited. And she wants to have like a broader horizon to like look towards for herself and create an even more accurate depiction of her authentic self on the world. And so she needs new ideas. She's craving a new perspective, a new understanding to be able to like, who is this person now? If this person isn't the one who is in this lack mentality and isn't this, if my worthiness is really here, then what does that mean for myself? And she's trying to see like a clear future. And I always see this card as looking futuristic, like a futuristic cityscape of some kind. Um, and so she's trying to imagine a new future, what this is going to be like, because in the past it was just fantasy, but this is actually real now. Like, this is really happening. She's really embracing her gifts, her psychic powers, her powers of intuition. She's embracing her healing mission. She's embracing um, the idea that union takes place inside of self, and it's not really about having an external person. So all of this is new. She doesn't quite understand how she fits into this picture yet. And she's trying to figure out exactly what this next stage is going to look like. This is, the forefront of her mind. I need to know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. I want to know. But there's not a discomfort. There's just an acknowledgement there with that Ace of Swords. I don't know what it is. I don't have a clear view of what my future is like, um, but it's okay. But I do want to know. The niggling thing in the back of her mind is this Seven of Swords in reverse. So we're seeing her having been in a state of standing her ground for a long time against these perceived opposing forces. And she's moving out of this place where she's having to fight herself off, fight off sabotaging actions, behaviors, communications, overreactions. she's no longer fighting against divine masculine's energy either, because for a while he was sending her communication and she was like, no. She's like blocking every which way, like doing some, do you like my karate moves? Clearly Cobra Kai is really helping me out here. I'm learning a lot from that show about protecting myself. So she's like been this lone, defender, blocking every possible communication from divine masculine. But because she felt it wasn't in a place that, like, well, she wasn't open to receiving them, but she didn't realize that. She thought that the way that he was trying to approach her was like not correct. And when I look at this Ace of Swords and I pair this is the forefront and the back of her mind, I see like she doesn't understand why this is the way that she has had to make shit happen for herself. She's not clear like what it was that put her into a state where she was blocking and then not receiving these messages, and like she's not quite clear about it, but she's feeling like she has a sense that it's just part of this journey that she's on to get from where she was to where she wants to be, because the first thing on her mind is the Six of Swords, which of course is the minor arcana card for me. That's higher lessons, or this is like, yeah, higher like lessons learned. So the Hierophant, which is like that more traditional, this is like high school versus college. Like if the Hierophant is your, bachelor's degree, this would be your high school degree, right? Your high school diploma. So she's learned her lessons. She's been able to have a sense that this shit that went down, whatever caused her to be in this energy, blocking her desires and standing in her own way, she's released this energy. She doesn't know exactly why this was part of the journey, but she's accepting it and releasing it. And she's heading into that unknown. And that's what we're seeing this Ace of Swords coming up about. It's like, I don't know now, I don't know. Like before I knew, because before it was a fantasy and I was in complete control. It was never going to happen. Like, so if it was never going to happen, then I was totally in control of every facet of that fantasy of what I would be like. And then we will do this, and then we'll do that, and then this will happen, and then this and this and this and that and that. And it'll be so like a movie or a story or whatever, like that's old divine feminine energy where she was like really not trusting or believing it was ever going to happen. So the fantasy she had created for it was really detailed, because you can put a whole lot of detail into something that's not going to happen. Ironically, that helps you make it happen. So she has now all of these things she's put into the vortex of what she desires with this person, and she's heading towards those desires. And she's like, I have no idea in what shape or form I'm going to experience my future, because it's a whole mess of like fantasy, and now it's coming into the reality, and it's like really unclear what is happening or what's going on. And I still don't have a clear sense of what divine masculine is doing either. This is just totally like, I'm kind of on my own out here. There is someone rowing this boat behind me, but I can't see his face. I don't know who he is. It's that kind of a feeling. I'm so excited. I got myself some decks. So probably today I'll be getting them, and I'll have a new heart space that matches. I got the Field Tarot that matches the Fountain Tarot to me. So I've got a new heart space coming for divine masculine. So we're revamping here. We're changing the energy. And that I thought of that because this is the next card. The Fool. 0. We're at stage 1. We're at the very beginning. This is the very beginning, right? So divine masculine showed up in some form, not entirely physical for most of us. For some of us, sure. But in some form, divine masculine has showed up and started rowing this boat. It's a sanctuary. Divine feminine is like, I don't have any fucking idea where we're going. But I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go with it because I am ready for a new beginning. I'm ready to go somewhere new. So I'm going to just go ahead and take this leap. I don't know what's going to happen. This new energy that's around me. And, this doesn't have to be a relationship energy. Remember, this is your energy. This could be about new friends, new people coming into your life that are bringing some exciting energy that you're not sure of. It doesn't have to be about the specific person that you're thinking about. In fact, if you can apply it to all the relationships in your life, you're going to get a lot of insight. So, don't get stuck on that one iteration. You can find out things about that person, but it's about you. So you are ready for this new beginning. You feel someone has kind of gotten in this boat with you and started rowing, and you're like, I have no clue where we're going, but I'm down. This is exciting. You might have started entering into new relationship energy with a completely new iteration, but something is going on where you're like, let's go. I'm really excited to see what is going to happen. And I'm just throwing caution to the wind. I'm being loyal to this divine masculine energy that's in charge of the boat there, that dog energy that accompanies the companion energy and the Fool. I'm ready to follow his lead. And this is what's going on in your headspace. Then we have the Seven of Cups. Now, normally this is coming out, we're feeling confusion from it, especially with the look on her face, which I really love. This is one of my favorite Seven of Cups ever. I also like that it kind of forms this heart, because often we're thinking about like our heart's desires and filling all of those cups filled with different options, opportunities, all the fantasies. Remember, I said this is a divine feminine who spent her time creating this deep fantasy of this experience because she didn't think it was real. Then when she found out that the experience is real, we're doing this now. Okay. All right. Well, I put a lot of things out there. Like there's a lot of things swirling around in my vortex and I have no idea what's coming. Like I told you, she's like, wow. Okay. So that's interesting because there's a lot of options, and since I'm just starting out and I kind of don't really know, I'm sort of like, what do I pick? Like, what do I choose? What do I do next? Like, what's best for me? So she's kind of she's feeling definitely overwhelmed by the new beginning, overwhelmed by how she's moving from what was once fantasy now into what is very physical. And the next thing on her mind is the Five of Pentacles upright. Now, this pesky little card showed up yesterday, didn't it? Yeah, I think with the Knight of Wands, the two shadow things that she needed to work on. But it's so interestingly clarifying that this card. And the feeling I have is that divine masculine is in the process of ferrying this couple away from the Five of Pentacles energy that they've been in. So the action-oriented energy in divine feminine, divine masculine energy. And if this is her state, a specific iteration of divine masculine energy. When she knows, when she doesn't know. It really doesn't matter, right? It's energy. So her own divine masculine energy, which may be translating to this iteration, in my case, I feel that way, is preparing to take them from this place of struggle and strife where they have been, right here, right? This lack mentality, lack of love, lack of opportunity, lack of options, right? We know she's got a lot of options now, but this past energy and being outside in the cold, leaving someone in the cold, keeping somebody on the outside because you can't let them in for whatever reason, this is what is being left behind. There's no longer going to be this particular pain in the ass card in regards to this union. This masculine energy is like, I'm good on that. I don't plan to ever be homeless again. I do not plan to ever have a situation where I'm scared that I can't invest in my passions or in myself. I realize that being scared to invest in my passions and myself is actually what made me lose what I had. So I'm not down with that energy anymore, and I'm stepping out of that energy. So bye. Like, that's where that masculine worth energy is with within her. She's learned her lessons from that Five of Pentacles, and it's time now for this new beginning. And this is supported by the Nine of Wands. So interesting to see both the Seven and the Nine of Wands, which this is this build up to massive communication coming from the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is when we're like, drop all of the things we've been carrying, and we're like, I can't do this anymore. Like, fuck, I can't. Like, I gotta let this all out. Like, I can't handle this anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm done, right? And it does have an energy of that, of like, just like Jesus Christ energy. And we're building up to that. We've got this Seven of Wands, and we also have the Eight of Wands coming too. So we're really, and remember, this is retrograde too. So we've got 7, 8, 9, and it's like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, heart's desire. But she's leaving behind this energy, this Nine of Wands energy. She has persevered against her deep inner child wounds, and she's free. She's free of those wounds. They're not holding her back anymore. There's that happy little inner child ready to just fly, because children can fly. No one has convinced them they can't yet, and they can. So she's recovered this child through the work that she's done. I also have personal experience recently with understanding that I have a need for protection for myself, that I have this fear that I wasn't even acknowledging, and I didn't have a protector energy in my life, and like I craving that. Like when you work in with Lacey Phillips, how to manifest modules, you have to create like magnetic versions of your parents who are healthy versions, so that you can go back and kind of like imagine what your inner child needed and then give it to your inner child. And sometimes those individuals will change. Mine has been, hey Ash, mine has been pretty hardcore Meryl Streep mom for like a long time. That's just been the one that I've envisioned. But recently my magnetic dad changed to a young De Niro, which my grandfather looked a lot like De Niro, so that's not that surprising. But when I really thought about what he's like and what like his and why he would, because it used to be Poff, like Michael Landon from Little House on the Prairie. Shut up, that's who it was. You find your magnetic dad and then talk to me about it. He was great. He was a man who could cry, and he was a strong protector. We love Pa Ingalls anyway. So, but then I was like, oh, interesting. Why De Niro? And I pictured like what De Niro would do to my ex-husband. And I was like, oh, that's why. Because I crave protection. I crave somebody who can keep me safe, because I have been violated. I have been controlled. I have been in danger. So, and I didn't have that energy. I had to do that myself. And so it's like learning to protect myself, etc. But understanding that I am safe and I don't need to block or protect myself. Like, I'm okay. Everything's okay. So it's also that energy coming from that Nine of Wands in reverse as well, and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Like these issues and ideas of protection that for me, my inner child is, I'm helping heal those wounds, or I have done that. The next thing in her mind is some overthinking, but it's clarifying the overfeeling of the Seven of Cups. So that kind of makes sense. And it's really major energy. It is the moon, which we're really not that surprised. Are we that surprised? I'm not that surprised. This is a card that haunts this specific couple. We're always seeing it. It's because of the 5D energy between them. It's because of the psychic connection, the telepathic connection, the 5D connection. It's because much of this work that has been done between them has been done in the subconscious. And this is being clarified by judgment. So we've got confusion, fears and worries, and judgment, absolution, salvation, right? So she's got, now that this is real, and it is, Now that the inner child wounds have been dealt with and she can prepare for this new beginning and take this leap into the unknown, because she doesn't know where she's going or how she's getting there or what's happening, and she feels overwhelmed by the amount of opportunities that now are before her, she's freaked out a little bit. She's afraid. She's got fear. She's got anxiety. She's a little bit more comfortable in the fantasy and the dream space. And now she's like, whew, this is getting real. Like this is real. It's Judgment Day. Like the time is here. And Judgment Day is scary, right? It's a scary time. If you aren't quite sure where you're going, and you're just going to be on pins and needles a little bit waiting for God to tell you. So she's got anxiety. It's like a healthy dose of anxiety, because she's like, whoa, I just accepted a huge mission. I just accepted a huge offer of some kind, in the dream space, at least in my subconscious, in hidden messages, in this hidden way, I've accepted this offer, and now it's coming. And so I'm looking forward to it because I have that Fool energy and I'm ready for it. I'm like, ready to leap right in there, but it's fucking intimidating, right? Yeah. And guess what? Her heart agrees, because the top of the deck overall heart space for Divine Feminine is Judgment. So her heart agrees. Judgment Day is here. This is a place where we can apologize, ask for forgiveness, receive our absolution, and be free and be reborn and experience a completely new life, right? Born again, as the Christians like to say. The niggling thing in her heart, the niggling feeling, is this Eight of Wands energy. It's reversed though. So she feels like these messages are coming, but they're coming kind of slow, but they're coming. They're on their way. They're about it. The shit is about to hit the fan, because here's oh my Lord, here's the Tower. And the Tower is clarifying this move. So this is a Divine Feminine who is about to move. She has had to move. She's going to leave her home. She's going to go into a completely new life. This could be leaving an old career, an old relationship behind. Something has crumbled. She's picked up the pieces. She's learned her lessons. She doesn't know exactly where she's heading, but she's moving away from this tower that has crumbled and rebuilding something pretty great, because the Wheel of Fortune is here clarifying the Fool. That's right. Yes, indeed. It's a good time to take a risk, and she knows it. And that's why she's like, all right, here we go. I'm leaping in all the way. Like I'm going to just allow my destiny and my fate to carry me to where I want to go. And this Knight of Cups, I'm open to receive. My heart is so open. There's my cup. I'm ready to have filled by the Divine Masculine energy that's about to bring it in and offer me all of first of all the feelings from the cups, and then all the abundance, all the fantasies fulfilled, right? All my dreams fulfilled. I just covered that for Valentine's Day. Then we have the Three of Cups energy in reverse, clarifying the Five of Pentacles. So this Tower energy is also right above this Five of Pentacles energy as well. So we have the leaving behind of this lack mentality, being left outside in the cold, being ready to celebrate and come in and be able to have this reunion with Divine Masculine. But she's also got a feeling that this process of her being brought in from out of the cold, this is really going to cause this third party energy that has been blocking this manifestation for both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energy. That energy is not going to be happy at all. And this is just sort of like her understanding, this is why I've been in the cold, because this third party energy is not going to like it. They're not going to like it. The Tower above this suggests that there's probably a lot of discomfort about to ensue from this Knight of Cups coming in and giving his offer, which is right here. He brings not only this heartfelt offer with the cup, but here is the Ace of Pentacles. This is what she has healed so that she can allow herself to receive this offer and accept the offer. She's not going to block it. She's not going to be alone anymore, isolated by herself, healing her wounds. She is leaving that energy and she's ready to be here in the material and accept that material world offer. And then clarifying Judgment and the Moon, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is also in the same row with that Seven of Cups energy. And this is her feeling of overwhelmment about what her crafts that she's been working on something and it's coming to its completion. She's either finishing this work, almost done with it. It's about ready to become revealed. It's not going to be hidden any longer. There's that Judgment Day. This is also these two cards together. It's like what was hidden is coming to light, right? That's another thing. But this work, this crafting that she's been doing, it's no longer going to be hidden. She's also not attached to the material manifestations it provides her. She's doing this work, this mission that she's on right now, because of her sacred calling and not because of any of the pentacles that she would receive from it. She doesn't care about pentacles. The only reason she cares about pentacles is because having pentacles. Oh my God. Oh my God. I shuffled Divine Masculine Headspace. And at the end, I saw like in the deck that there was a card flipped over face up. And whenever that happens, I take that card. But when I went to take that card, I realized that like a whole large section of the deck was actually flipped over somehow. And I was like, oh, I don't want to take that many cards. So I started to flip that section over, but I felt really strongly. I was like, wait, maybe I should take the first card I saw. And then I was like, no, I'm not sure. And I put it back into the deck and I was like, well, if it's meant to come out, it will come out. And then I shuffled it and it fucking did. It was the last card. And I'm shocked because I stuck it back in and shuffled it a bunch. And then one card popped out and it's that card. So like that card was definitely meant to be there. I love when Spirit does that to me. I'm so sorry because I was saying something about Divine Feminine's what she was working on, and then I got distracted by that, so I can't remember now. My apologies, but that was a big deal. Okay. Let's look at Divine Masculine now. Divine Masculine, top of the deck, forefront of his mind is Death in reverse. So transformation and rebirth are the primary meanings that we associate with the Death card. The end, of course, of something, and then that transformation and being reborn. When it's in reverse, I usually feel the rebirth energy from the card a lot, or sometimes it can be about resisting ending something. So I actually think both meanings apply here. Number one, we're seeing the Divine Masculine preparing for this rebirth. He wants to resurrect what has died. That's definitely part of the feeling of this card. The other feeling is that he is a little bit resistant to ending the current way that the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine interact. He knows he wants more. It's not about him not wanting more. And it's not even about him being afraid of having more or afraid of committing or anything like that. It's simply that he's thinking about how much, in a strange way, that he has enjoyed the way that they love each other. And so there is a little bit of resistance to like ending this particular way of interacting between them. He knows it's going to be better, but it's comfortable. And it's also nostalgic because this is a nostalgic Divine Masculine for sure. He's often fonder of thinking about the past than he is about being present. That's a big, big thing for him. So to let go of the past is hard. He might also be experiencing quite a big loss because we saw him struggling in that Two of Swords energy for quite a while because he has to really make this decision that causes him to experience a death of some kind in some aspect of his life, even while he's experiencing this rebirth with the divine feminine. So there's a bit of conflict there about this. He's ready, but he's also there's grief accompanying these changes for him. But these changes are coming because the niggling thing in the back of his mind is the Four of Swords in reverse, which is, I'm breaking my silence. I'm not going to remain silent anymore. It is my silence that has caused the any of the problems we've had. He's fully taking on this feeling right, or these thoughts right now. Like this delay, this end has been delayed by my refusal to break this silence, by my resistance to transforming and breaking my silence. But I must do it because the first thing on his mind is fixing this reciprocity between the two of them. He's experiencing right now, the divine couple is experiencing reciprocity. At least the divine feminine felt this way yesterday. She's usually the determiner of reciprocity. But divine masculine is feeling that despite the reciprocity they currently have, that he must actually shift into an actual material reciprocity now. They have an energetic reciprocity, but he wants to have a material one. And so he's working on transforming this energy. Now look at retrograde, because we have 6 of Pentacles and it's followed by 5 of Pentacles. There's so much energy like that in retrograde. How do you have the 6 of Pentacles and end up at the 5 of Pentacles? How do you have generosity, benevolence, the ability to be able to share, and end up at the 5 of Pentacles? So divine masculine has this conflict in his headspace. He feels a lack mentality, which, as you recall, divine feminine had in her headspace as well. So they're in union in this energy. They're out in the cold and they're not together, and they're being kept in the dark about what's really going on. They can only see these glimpses of each other through these windows, like pressing their face against the window to see, the warmth inside, kind of a deal, right? That's all they got right now. And divine masculine is feeling like his inability to reciprocate is what has kept them here in this state. But he's not felt like he's had enough to share for a long time. This has been his primary issue, that he's felt like materially he wasn't able to really provide. And that feeling, that lack feeling, really kept him from being able to bring divine feminine out of the cold. And he's recognizing how strong divine feminine has been to endure this, and with this strength energy. He's also thinking about the strength of the connection. This has been on his mind. He's been really trusting in this energy recently. Like, I just have to believe that it's strong enough to endure this 5 of Pentacles energy we've been in. But remember, he's ready to break the silence. So this is what he's ready to tell divine feminine. He's ready to say, hey, I couldn't reciprocate. I had to keep you in the cold. I was trusting that our connection was strong enough and that you were strong enough to endure this. Seven of Cups. And here they both are at this point. Now, divine masculine is prostrate. Like, look at the different body language. Divine feminine, confused. Divine masculine, can't handle it. Is like, I cannot handle this many cups. Can't handle it. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm at your mercy. And he's at divine feminine's mercy in this energy. He's controlling his pride and ego with that strength card and just prostrating himself. He's like putting himself at the feet of divine feminine and, with this Six of Pentacles and just being like, please forgive me. And not only forgive me, but I'm bringing you all these cups. I'm confused about exactly how to do it. I really don't know. I really don't know, but I'm going to do it. And I filled these cups with all of the things that I want to give you. And Divine Feminine's like, I know. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it. Like, this is crazy. But she's like, this is the conversation that's kind of happening in the 5D between them right now. So Divine Masculine is at her mercy. He knows what he wants. It's here, lingering here. And he's just throwing himself at the feet of his Divine Feminine strength and just begging that he's got enough to be able to get her to go with him, to be with him. And then we have the Ten of Wands clarifying the Five of Pentacles. And didn't I talk about 8, 9, 10 of Wands, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Wands? Here we have the 10. This is ready. This is, I can't take it anymore, right? I can't take it anymore. I'm overwhelmed by all of these feelings and emotions I'm having, and I need to pour my heart out to you, and I need to communicate, and I'm just going to unburden myself completely. And what I'm going to unburden myself about is this Five of Pentacles energy is what constituted this and why this happened for me, and the reasons that I had to keep you in the cold, and all of that. I'm going to tell you all of that. I'm going to reveal all of that to you. And I'm just going to end this cycle of no communication. That Four of Swords in reverse combined with the Ten of Wands is, I'm going to end this communication. Ace of Cups. This is the card. This is the one that was flipped over in the deck. And I was like, oh shit. And then went to get it and was like, oh, maybe that's not the one. And then that was the one. There's the cup the Knight is bringing. Divine Feminine knows it. She feels it. And Divine Masculine is strong enough. He has his cup filled. He has done his work. He has drawn from the source. It is overflowing. And he wants to share it with Divine Feminine. And he's counting on the strength of the connection and the strength he has himself to control his pride and his ego, to come in and offer this cup to her. Everything is ready. Top of the deck, the union in this frickin' spread is just stupid. Overall feeling of the heart space for Divine Masculine, the Moon in reverse. Divine Feminine, she's afraid of Judgment Day. Divine Masculine, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, and I'm not going to stay in this 5D ass energy anymore. I'm coming out, and I want the world to know. I'm leaving behind this secret, hidden. I'm revealing what has been hidden. I'm no longer worried about the uncertainty. It's not a problem for me. And to emphasize how strongly he feels about this I'm not afraid energy, the Nine of Swords is in reverse in his headspace, in the bottom of the deck, which is like fearlessly facing this beast of his own machinations, his own headspace that has plagued him and made him feel inadequate, and like all these terrible things were going to happen, this negativity bias that he has. He's like, I'm done being afraid. I'm done. I'm done. Like, I'm done. He knew he would get here. It has taken a minute, though. It has taken a minute, but he is leaving behind this Eight of Swords energy. He is no longer protecting himself by withholding or being hoarding or not expressing. He is ready to express. He is ready to do what it is that he needs to do to stop protecting himself from his Divine Feminine and finally celebrate with, I shit you not, the Three of Cups. Divine Masculine's Three of Cups is upright because he's ready to bring the celebration in. Divine Feminine's in reverse because she knows it's about to happen. There's the match. She also knows the reasons it didn't happen. Third party energy. So does Divine Masculine, because this same fucking card that is fucking clarifying this fucking Five of Pentacles is also clarifying the Five of Pentacles for Divine Masculine. And I can't make this up. God damn it. The Three of Cups, but it's not in reverse, because the third party energy that was a pain in Divine Masculine's ass is not a pain in the ass anymore. Now he can celebrate with Divine Feminine. That third party energy that was blocking, remember, came from his own self-protection, which he's left behind. Now that he's not doing that, oh look, the universe has opened up this way. It's provided him this opportunity, this ability to be able to come in and have his reunion. Strength, clarified by the Page of Pentacles. Sorry, Cups. Page of Cups. I said Pentacles because of the next card that is great. Page of Cups. This is what is strong. Their true love. He believes, this is his heart. This is him in his heart space. This is his Divine Feminine. The strength of the true love that exists between the two of them is such that the self-protection, the barriers he was putting up, it broke through that. It broke down all the walls they made. Oh my God, I can't. I'm gonna die. The Ten of Pentacles, which is this material happiness, the family, this beautiful, all this abundance, the legacy, everything. That's what's clarifying everything that he wants to bring to Divine Feminine, all the emotions and this is what he's at the mercy of, like his dream of their material happiness. This is what he's surrendering to. He's surrendering to his own happiness, which he knows is going to bring Divine Feminine happiness because it's shared. And we have the Knight of Cups. That's right, the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups was clarifying the Seven of Cups for Divine Feminine. And it's also on the other side of the Seven of Cups for Divine Masculine. And it's clarifying for Divine Masculine the Ten of Wands. So yeah, the communication that's going to happen is going to be this unburdening of the heart space, right? That cup that the Knight of Cups is bringing, that's on the other side of the Knight of Cups. This is what he's going to do. He's going to communicate. He's going to say, I love you. I want to be with you forever, babe. Are you down? And then we've got overfeeling galore, but it's very interesting. It's retrograde, right? Clarifying the Ace of Cups, we have the Five of Wands. So unblocked love. That's literally what this is. Unblocked love. Self-love so deep, so pure, so real, which he only gained through the ability, because this is in this true love with Divine Feminine column here in the clarification positions. This way, I guess. His Divine Feminine strength, her power, her fieriness, all the things about her that he loves. And her true love for him. This is what showed him how to fill his cup up. And so he has become unblocked. And we have 5, 4. The Four of Wands, it's not upright yet. We're seeing it in its reverse because Divine Feminine is still feeling like the stability of this relationship rests on his ability to keep this cup filled. So this is his heart space feeling like, I have unblocked love and I have opened myself up to this Four of Wands energy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And we have 3 of Cups. We're missing 2 of Cups though. Final clarification, 4 of Cups. So this is pretty great because this is his heart space realizing, as long as I maintain, first of all, this is about grounding the connection and coming into the real world. But as long as I maintain a connection to spirit, and continue to fill up my cup, because traditional 4 of Cups has 1 cup floating before and there's 3 cups in front of them. So getting that cup filled through meditation, contemplation, being connected through nature, being connected to the divine, this will help to stabilize this sacred union so that they can have this marriage here in the physical. And there, because of the imagery of Prisma visions, there are the 2 cups. So we have 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And 4, 4, which is super stable energy. So this was a great fucking reading. Let's go ahead and look at the oracles. My hands are freezing for some reason. All right, divine feminine. The one thing I will say for the both of you today, you got a lot of archetypes. So you're presenting with a lot of archetypes. So a lot of facets of your personality are being highlighted right now. You are currently divine feminine in the light attributes of the destroyer, which, and I just saw 44 when I looked at the clock, which is releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So you're still in this great energy you've been in for a minute here. You've been getting this card a lot over the last couple of weeks. But you are releasing what is potentially destructive. And I mean, your head and your heart for the last 2 days, I'm so proud. Like, you just seem really calm, really ready. There's not a whole lot of fear. There's not a lot of anxiety. There's a little bit, but it's really not bad. You're also in the light attributes of the detective, which is great powers of observation and intuition and a desire to seek out the truth. So you're like watching, you're just watching, you're observing. You don't know the truth, but you have a strong desire to seek it out. So you're just watching right now and you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to allow these things to trigger me. I'm just going to watch. I'm really going to rely on like what I'm seeing. And I'm not going to be falsifying the things I'm seeing. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be objective. I'm not going to tell stories about it. I'm going to truly be a detective and use my powers of observation to seek out the truth instead of using my powers of observation to like feed the fire of my fears. Your guardian angel is here to support you in this vision. So we've got observing and vision and this clarity from the Ace of Swords, which is in its reverse. So you're being helped to see clearly, to have a vision of your future. And when you are getting these visions, when you're seeing what it is that you want to do, you have power of your intuition and your desire to seek the truth that are going to help you to really create this beautiful new idea. I am a, without exception, what you give thought to, want, you begin to invite into your experience. See yourself as a magnet attracting unto you the essence of whatever you are thinking and feeling. For example, if you feel poor, you cannot attract prosperity. It defies. So you are understanding that you are a magnet and that you are attracting what you are feeling. And what you are feeling tells you what thoughts you are having, which is what is causing the attracting. So when you are not feeling great, if you reach for better feeling thoughts, you will start to attract those thoughts. You're really starting to understand and believe in this lesson. And also, look at her peacefully, calmly looking at that moon, which we were seeing here in her headspace. She's observing the moon, right? She's observing this hidden world, seeking out this truth. Adjustments are required. Very interesting reversal on this card. I had my sound bath yesterday, and when we started to do like the drop in and just kind of like meditate before she started doing the sound, and there's this point where we do a little bit of journaling. She said at first, what do you want to work on next week? And then she changed what she said and said, actually, that's like super patriarchal and like capitalistic. Like, maybe you don't need to work. What does your heart need? And when she said that, it transformed. Like, I had my first thing that I thought was protection. I need to work on protection because that's the thing that's coming up for me. But then when she asked me what my heart needed, my heart was like, no, you need nourishment and you need to be in your physical body, like really in your physical body. That was what I realized. And I told her, I said, it's interesting that you shifted how you asked me that question, because in my own personal life, I've been working a lot lately on the idea that I'm not broken, that I don't constantly need fixing, because we do get into it when we start working on ourselves. We kind of get addicted to working on ourselves, right? We can get addicted to healing. Healing, when you're doing your healing, you're isolated, you're alone, you're not out there in the world. It's cozy. So we can get addicted to that energy. We can get addicted to fixing ourselves. And I think this card coming out in reverse today is you have made the appropriate adjustments. You have basically established an autonomic magnetic system, right? You've gone from conscious, first you were unconsciously attracting things, and because you were doing that and you didn't know that it took like some kind of discipline with your mind so that you were not thinking about things you don't want all the time, you had to like you had to overcorrect, right? And constantly be like, oh, I thought that and this and this, and you're trying to figure out like, where's my limiting belief? And it's like all this stuff. At a certain point in time, though, the process starts to become automatic. So you go back to that state you were before, where you were, quote unquote, unconsciously manifesting. But now what you're doing is you're feeling the process happen. So when it starts to go, you can just redirect it faster, and it just doesn't go so far off the rails. Is that going to be true forever, for the rest of your life, after you find this information out and learn about the law of attraction and everything? No. Like, there's going to be times in your life where something happens and you let go of the reins and you feel your way towards a tower that is very uncomfortable, because that's life. And like, that's meant to happen. It doesn't mean you're broken. If you attract a tower moment, it does not mean you're broken. It means you made a request that required a massive shift or change, period. So it's not like you're going to have to be fixing yourself and making these little adjustments constantly throughout the rest of time. You will always have the opportunity to come and make adjustments if you feel like you're in a space where you're not manifesting things that are bringing you a whole lot of pleasure. There might be times in your life where you're like, I need to make some adjustments, but you are not going to be constantly adjusting every second, having to dig everything out. Like, once you dig it out it and own it, it's gone. It's truly gone. All right. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. There was an emphasis here. So there's a tower coming. Now, all towers are uncomfortable. They are always uncomfortable. But this tower is one that you have asked for. And it's about moving, shifting, leaving behind old energy. So it doesn't mean, something bad is going to happen to me. It just means something big and something uncomfortable is going to happen. I'm going to suddenly need to shift into a new place. That Fool energy and the Wheel of Fortune. My fate is taking me somewhere completely new that I've never gone before. So you need to get really tuned into your heart space for that experience, so that you don't let your thoughts about the tower that's occurring pull you out of that alignment with your heart space. Ooh, I don't think I've gotten this card before. This is from the Colette Baron Reed deck. We might have gotten it, but I don't remember it. And it's upright. The message is from Wombat Spirit, and it is be at home. Burrowing deep into the ground, remaining safe, sound, and well-fed with family is a special trait of the wombat. Home sweet home is always available if you recognize that well-being is the truth of life. Wombat Spirit reminds you that to be truly at home in the world, you need to find comfort within your own skin. You do this by accepting all your experience without judgment, through a deep honesty and love of life. When you feel the freedom to be yourself, you can begin to truly feel at home in your life with your family and tribe. Right now, you're in a beautiful place where you can hang up the coat of your identity and settle into a true sense of home and well being, understanding that all is well. Everything you do from this place rings true in harmony with spirit. Wow. So, Divine Feminine, you have come home in some way. So, be at home, be comfortable in your most authentic self, and understand that there's over on my piano, which I think my piano book is covering up, but there's a canvas over, I don't know what the fuck you call it, a painting with words on it, like a cheesy shit from Kohl's. That's what it is. It says, wherever thou art, that is home, and art is in capital letters. And I got that years ago. I carried it with me. And I really have tried to embody that because I've been homeless before. And when you're homeless, I mean, it's the worst feeling. But when you're homeless, the only thing you have that is safe and home is just you. It's just wherever you are. And Divine Feminine, if you carry that strong sense of that, then wherever you're going next, it's going to feel like home, even if it's quite jarring, quite different from what you expected your life to be like. Okay, Divine Masculine, you had the most archetypes, all in light attributes, so I guess you're doing real good. You are in the light attributes of the guide, which represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And then you've released the shadow attributes of placing financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So you've released the financial gain and control aspects, and you've moved into a place where you are fully, like, you did the hermit's journey. Like, you went on the fool's journey, met up with the hermit, and this guiding energy has helped you immensely. And now you understand the divine in life and in yourself, and you're no longer worried about financial gain. You know that that's just going to be a side effect of embracing your passions. And you already knew that lesson, actually. It's like you had to relearn it. It's the second time you've learned this lesson. The rescuer energy provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So you fixed this. You had a little bit of energy where you were feeling like you needed recognition, but right now you're in the light of that. You're just acting out of love with no expectation that you're going to get what it is that you want. But right now you're in the Midas energy, which is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold. So you are going to get what you want. You're not being miserly anymore. You're not clinging. You're not withholding. You're acting out of love with no expectation that you're going to get what you want, but you do have the sense that when everything you touch right now turns to gold. And then you are in the light attributes of the orphan child, which is independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering your fear of surviving. And you're no longer in the shadow attributes, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation and seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So your inner child has also gone through quite a lot of healing, and you are now really in the light, and you're not afraid. You're not letting feelings of abandonment stifle your ability to grow. Move. Make a move, Divine Masculine. And I'm not going to say anything else about that. I am learning to allow well-being in. The art of allowing is, I am that which I am, and I am pleased and joyful in it. And you are that which you are, and while you are different from that which I am, I can allow that, for it is also good. So, you have come to, oh, and it's 44. You have come to a place where you are just allowing well-being in. You are letting others be different from you, and you allow that. It's also good. You're like, you do you, and I'm doing me. So and so can do so and so. I'm good right now, is your energy. I'm allowing well-being. hey, balance spirituality and practicality. You know, you never get this card, do you? Or you just get it all the time. So it's time now to take the spiritual energy and move. Go ahead and bring this into the material. Make this a practical experience in the real world. And then an emphasis on this Imrama energy. Where are you being called to journey to? This is another card that's like, move, move. And it might be that you're about to journey or you're about to travel because you got guide energy and move. And where are you called to journey to? So it might be time to make that move to that next place right now. And there's maybe a sense that you don't know exactly where you're going to go. There might have been a property loss. And so you don't know exactly where you're going next, but you're trusting that you're being guided there. But it's time to move. Divine Feminine have the same energy too of like, we have to move. Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait is this card. Interesting. Hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. Seahorse Spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Your message from Seahorse Spirit is, not my circus, not my monkeys. Spirit wants you to know that even if you're tempted to jump into the fray and to try to fix things, the best way to serve yourself and others right now is to remain calm and simply watch and see. Another message here is that whatever your query, Seahorse Spirit asks you to step back from it. Be willing to explore things from different angles rather than a single one, and just observe what is possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you will discover a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why. And you will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom. So there's third-party energy that comes up for Divine Masculine as a block for him moving forward. And there's kind of this message that's like, there might be something brewing with that third-party energy. And the advice is just to be like, oh, whatever. I'm not going to get involved in this because it's a test. So right now you're on the verge of coming in with your Ace of Cups in this Divine Masculine energy. Divine Feminine, you're right on the verge of receiving an Ace of Cups of some kind. Some kind of like, I kind of want to try and see what this is going to be like. Let's do it. When you're right there and ready for that to happen, you get a lot of tests. And this is probably one of them. There's a bunch of drama that is kind of unfolding. And in the past, your MO would be to be like, oh, I got to deal with this now. Like, be like, well, I guess I can't do what I was planning to do because now this is happening. And instead of that, you're going to be like, wait, I can actually still do this. And this can be happening. And you know what? In fact, maybe this is happening to test me to see whether or not I'm going to let that drama pull me in when what I know that I really should do is go towards this. And if I go towards this, that drama will fall away because it can't follow me here. If I make this move, this can't come with me because in this direction over here, in this other place, that isn't a thing. That's not part of the vibration. That's part of this new thing that I'm creating. So if I go this way, I think this drama is going to end. And any of the worries or fears that I have that I'm like abandoning this situation or that I should feel guilty because it's somehow involved, I'm not going to let those old things dictate to me what I'm going to do in my life. I'm going to do this. And I think this is going to be okay. And you're right. It will be because it is a test. All right. Right now, Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, you are in the hero and heroine attributes. We are at the bottom of the deck for the couple. These are the things you both share. Passion for a journey of personal empowerment. There you are, ascending to this pinnacle, and you meet each other right there at the top. And this is the hardest part of the journey. And it takes heroes, heroines, People that are determined, have a passion for this journey, and want to be personally empowered to do this. And you are in this light attribute. You have released any shadow of escapism. So you're no longer escaping into the fantasy of each other. You're starting to build the reality of each other. And then here's my good friend, St. Nicholas of Myrna, telling us to be generous, emphasizing, be generous. Be very, very generous. Give openly with no expectation of return from your heart, because it feels incredibly good to do that. I know who I really am. You are an extension of non-physical energy. You are indeed an extension of that which we are. We are known as teacher, and we are known as Abraham, and we are together because of our matching intentions and desires. So this comes from the Abraham Hicks Law of Attraction deck. I also read from the Ask and It Is Given deck, but I went back to the Law of Attraction deck, so I haven't used that in a while. Interesting for me to see this card, because I'm realizing that the person who introduced me to Abraham was my DM's mom. And it was like for her birthday, I went to stay with her, and I had brought her, I think I brought her food or something. I made her and some other gift. And she said, the only gift I really want, baby, is for you to listen to this with me. And I was like, okay. And she played this crazy lady talking about channeling Abraham. And I was like, typical. But I loved it. Like, I was like, wait, there's something here. And then we talked all night about it. And I kept listening to it. And this was like maybe 2013 or so when this happened. And so I started learning about Abraham, and that's how I came into this information about the law of attraction. And I had other experiences prior to that, but this is when it started to become like a really integral part of like how I started to think about what I was doing in the world and how I was creating my life, etc. So this is here for this couple because it's about understanding that you are this extension of non-physical energy, that there is this spiritual teachings that are coming through you, and that you came together because of your matching intentions and your desires, and because you're connected through this Abraham energy. Like there's this light council that needs you to speak for them, and you've been called to do that, and you came together because of your matching desires. And both of you right now feel, I know who I really am. And I think this is also, I know who my twin is. For those of us that are in twin flame, doesn't have to be a twin flame connection. But when you are in a twin flame connection, then that iteration is going to match your divine masculine energy exactly. Like there's not going to be any question. It's going to be like, that's that, that's that, that's that. You can have that with soulmate energy too. But twin flame, it's going to be like that. It's also going to be really triggering. It's going to have a weird, difficult trajectory potentially. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert. I glean this from things that I read and watch. So I got no clue. But I trust my intuition, and I sense that that's pretty accurate. But I don't know everything about twin flame relationships by any means. I just am familiar with it. I read our own energy, understanding that if I have a twin, my twin's energy is going to look a lot like this. It's going to be mirrored back to me almost exactly. That's how I understand it. So for those of you who believe you know who the specific iteration of this perfect match is, it's like saying you both know who you are. There's no question right now. The other person has let you know you are the one. And you have said to that other person, you are the one. If that hasn't happened between the two of you, if the other person hasn't told you you are the one, this card doesn't apply to that specific iteration. But for those of you who have had that experience, you both know who you really are for each other. A time for healing in its reverse. Oh, fuck. Followed by this card, Star Mother in reverse. So this card came out over and over and over again. And I kept saying, Y'all have mother issues. Y'all got mommy issues, okay? Y'all need to heal your mommy issues. Really, though. Like, your inner child wounds had something to do with nurturing, nourishment, safety, security, da 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 da. Both healing and this card came out in reverse. So, my intuition is telling me y'all done healed your mommy issues. This is not going to be a problem for you. You've realized what you were lacking. You've realized how you can give yourself those things. And you've realized that it is not the responsibility of the other person to be in this energy with you 24 hours a day. There will be times when you will nurture each other in divine feminine energy. There will be times when you protect each other in divine masculine energy. But it is not the job of the other person to constantly be doing this for you all the time. In fact, the only time that you see this energy coming from them is because you're doing it for yourself and they can reflect it back to you. So you learned this. Y'all done learned this, and you don't need this lesson anymore. You have healed this mothering energy. You have embraced divine feminine healing energy into your life. And I'm so happy about that. All right, dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. This is the final closing card for the Colette Baron Reed deck for today. Oh, I got 2 more oracles coming too. So we're going to have 2 more tarot decks to look at, 2 more oracles. And if you feel like sending me more cards, there's always a link in my, there's like a wish list I have in there of different cards, because the more cards I get, the more interesting my spreads are, because I can get new messages and show new images. It's exciting. So if you ever want to gift me any cards, feel free. There's a link in my, like in the drop down of the video. Also, there's a Patreon in there, which I haven't done anything with, but I'm about to do some stuff with. So that's going to become much more integral part of what I do. There's going to be monthly and bi-weekly readings for different levels, in addition to the daily readings. So that's happening. But yeah, if you are ever interested in supporting me for these daily readings, go into the, what the fuck do you call it? The description box. Okay. Dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. Okay, the time has come to be gentle and diplomatic when dealing with others. You might have found yourself in a situation where negotiations are necessary in order to reach your goal. Be mindful of the words you choose, but do not worry. Dear Spirit reminds you that you have the ability to be sure-footed and confident while showing humility and respect for others. You will find that your capacity for calm and grounded communication is heightened at this time, and that is the thing I'm drawn to the most right now. Divine couple, your capacity for calm and grounded communication is heightened right now. Okay, there's only a few days left of Mercury in retrograde. And for this divine couple, I don't know what it is, but when you're outside of Mercury in retrograde and you're doing these things don't work. And now you're inside of Mercury in retrograde when for everyone else, shit is going weird and something is working for you. So you don't normally have a capacity for calm and grounded communication, but it is heightened at this time. So over the next few days, your ability to have calm and grounded communication is heightened. It doesn't mean you won't have it after Mercury retrograde. That's not what that means. It just means that this is a good time. We saw the Wheel of Fortune yesterday twice for Divine Masculine, and we're seeing it again here today for Divine Feminine. It would be a good time for you to communicate because you are both calm and grounded. Follow the way of dear spirit and you will do well, gaining the respect of others and finding common ground that is pleasing to you. Remember that understanding others and their needs will be more powerful at this time than putting your own first. If you do that, you will be rewarded tenfold. So if both of you are considering each other's needs in this calm and grounded energy, your communication, this gentle communication, might be just the thing. So, normally during Mercury in retrograde, I would be like, communication can be tough during this time. It can be difficult. But for this specific retrograde, for this union, for the cards that I just saw, for everything that's unfolding and where you are at, now is the time to act. It would be a good idea to try to communicate right now together. Okay, let's finish with our goddess card. This is for a goddess practice. If you want to put your hands over your heart for 15 minutes at some point, sometime today, and repeat, my heart is the heart of the goddess as a mantra while visualizing divine feminine energy any way that you feel called to, for any modality that you choose. You will be balancing the divine feminine energy within you. And we're doing this because we have honored the divine masculine energy and God energy disproportionately. And it would behoove us to balance those energies because we will see major transitions around us as those two energies come finally into balance. We are getting Arianrod. I think that's how you pronounce it. Arianrod, I don't know, is a matriarchal Welsh triple moon goddess, both virgin and mother. Famed for her beauty, she may be identical to the Cretan moon goddess Ariadne. Like all moon goddesses, she has a special love, concern, and responsibility for all life, especially for the green growing things of the earth. Our derivation of her name is High Fruitful Mother who turns the wheels of the heaven. The other is Silver Wheel. So we've got another wheel energy here. Her name tells us of her role as keeper of the heavens and of the cycles and changes of time. She lives in a castle in the Corona Borealis where she watches over souls in a purgatory filled with beings awaiting rebirth. Arianrod, keeper of time, giver and nurturer of life, shows us the universality and cyclicity of our lives. She is there to nurture us through the dark night of our soul changes. Dang, she's cool. All right, well, there's your goddess energy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, share. That helps grow my channel, which is just good for everybody. Who wouldn't want to be entertained by me every day? Anyway, so please do your best to help me out if you feel these messages are important for others. And have a great day today. I don't really know. I'm going to hang out with you, Ash, very soon. And later than we planned. Sorry about it. and then I think I'll probably be working on music today, actually, because I got to do that. So I'm going to do that. Alrighty, everybody, have a good day. I will see you tomorrow morning here on Tuned In Tarot. Take care, everybody.